Go red. Go blue. At Rooms to Go, you can...
It's the anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
Thank you, Mr. Miles. Yes, once again, I forgot to turn on the frickin' sound like an idiot. Dang it, Bird of Prey, it's your fault. You've infected me with your disease of forgetting, and there goes somebody else texting me, probably Bird. I don't know. It's been a day. I hate that 30... Oh, no, it was Bridget, Mrs. Anti-Checker. So, yeah, I hate the fact that there's like a 30-second delay from when I start talking to when you can hear me, because then I don't realize the sound's muted, and like I'm still getting people saying no sound in the chat. So in a minute it'll catch up. Anyway, so what I was starting to say is, first of all, not going to be a particularly long stream or anything. It's Thanksgiving, obviously. I hope that all of you are having a wonderful day. I know Mr. Miles has prepared one heck of a meal from his description here. Let me tell you what Mr. Miles has been up to. Mr. Miles has made a spiral ham, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, cream peas, corn, dinner rolls, green beans, and 6 pies, along with yams and cranberry sauce. So Mr. Miles has been very, very busy today. Now, we don't go quite that far with the meal. We go a little more simple. We had turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, the basic stuff. We usually have dinner rolls, but for whatever reason, we decided to try those Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. Really good. And then we have some pie, or actually I got cheesecake for afterwards. So anyway, which I'm going to have after this stream. Rock Solid was first in the house. Good to see you, Gary. Resolute Germ is a quick second, says hi. John Meyer says hi. Mr. Miles says first, of course. Commander Strand says hello. Mr. Miles says true first, pre-first, forever first, because Mr. Miles is obsessed with the idea of getting some kind of recognition, even though he already gets all the recognition as the editor of such fine videos as that Borg Theory. Death Dealer says happy Turkey Day. Valor says happy Thanksgiving. Justin says hey, Anti-Tracker. Rock Salt says hello to me. And Bird says no, pause the stream. Ezo Zone isn't quite over yet. I don't know what Ezo Zone is, but sorry. I waited until you were done. Ethical Romulan love the username, especially since I got a lot of flack for saying that the Romulans were in fact an honorable people. Just says anti-Trey.
I got him! Great hit! Don't get cocky.
And happy as Thomas puts in $2 says happy as Bird spells it, Thanksgiving number 14. And hold on just a second. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, Ethical Romulan says anti-Trey. but good to see you. 47 says, hello, sir. How was the turkey? The turkey that Mrs. Anti-Tracker made was absolute perfection. It's a 38-pound bird, and I will tell you, the center of that breast tasted like it was made of some kind of strange semi-liquid form. It was so juicy. Oh, man. Rusty Kent says, word. David Empit says, the road to 100,000 subscribers seems more likely every day. I'll tell you, you know, it's scary, but yeah, that's actually true. And if we can get there, that'll be just amazing. I know me and Mr. Miles are humbled by the incredible growth that we've had in the channel last week or so. And and if we can get to that point where we're doing this full time, oh man, what a difference it'll make in both our and our respective families' lives. Bird of Prey 5 says 834 of the 38 pounds. Not quite, but yeah, I had a pretty good chunk. Mrs. Anti-Checker saying happy Thanksgiving to everyone. John Meyer says Anti-Checker is Turkey O Prey 5 with us tonight. Yes, Turkey O Prey 5 is in the chat tonight. Rock Solid says, remember to smash the like button, share via social, set chat to live, turn mic and camera on before going live. I should have caught that one. Donate if you can. Join the subscribe star. Don't abuse emojis. I'm down with Karoga. And Alexander, my favorite crazy Russian/Canadian, is in the house. Haven't seen you in a little bit, Alexander. Good to see you. Says the channel is skyrocketing. Feel the burn. Absolutely, my friend. And thank you so much. I have to say, I am completely blown away by the incredible response that we've had in the last couple of weeks. And it's kind of put the pressure on because now me and Miles have to really focus on getting some good content out in the next few weeks. And let's see. And Valor says it's just an unplanned exozone. I'm not sure which is that. Oh, is that like someone else's live stream or something that I'm missing? And then there's all the no sound because I'm an idiot. Okay. And, Ethical Romulan says, Antichecker greater than Nerdrotic. Wow, that is quite the compliment, although I would not necessarily agree. Gary from Nerdrotic is a great guy. He's a friend of mine, a friend of the channel, and, you know, I love what he does. So, is Exozone one of his streams? So, in that case, I kind of feel bad, but it's not like I'm pulling people away from Gary. I mean, come on, Gary's got thousands of people watching his streams. It's crazy sometimes to watch how his streams go, and I'm very I could not be more happy for his success, and I hope one day to replicate that level of success. There's another 2 fake Canadian dollars from Alexander. Says, I came to the channel with the Borg series. Yes, the original Borg series was a landmark for me. And this new Borg series is going to take more time per episode, but I think is going to be a far superior series if that first one is any indication. John Meyer says, Andrew, you need a sign that says sound. Always assume silence. I do. Actually, what I need to do is when my leg is better again, I need to get my office organized a bit. And I do need like a little reminder to a checklist, if you will, for when I start the streams. Mr. Miles says, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And Springtime is here from Alaska saying happy Thanksgiving. How you doing, Springtime? Valor is, let's see, talking to Bird. There's Thomas's super chat. Thank you again, Thomas. Ethical Romulan says turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, casserole, gravy, and pumpkin pie over here. Sounds like a good Thanksgiving dinner. And let's see. Death Dealer says Exozone is what Bird is talking about. It's a podcast by Gary from Nerdrotic. Yeah, it should have clicked. I'm sorry guys, I am a little out of it because I have been physically exhausted these last few weeks, not because of the YouTube stuff, but just because of with my leg and my knee in particular. I haven't been able to sleep at night very much. I very rarely sleep for more than an hour or two at a time, and it just kind of caught up with me today. I spent almost the entire day today asleep. And so I'm still very groggy. I have a nasty headache from it, a little bit of a migraine, and it's just, yeah, been a rough one. But the dinner that Mrs. Antichecker made was all worth it. Valor says, I'm thankful for Klingon women, and the Klingon women are sexier than Aunt May and 7 of 9 combined. I'll give you this. The Klingon women's armor is better than anything Aunt May or 7 of 9 wear. Mr. Miles says, I also have a large cherry cheesecake, a turtle pie, and banana pudding. Wow, you really do go all out, Mr. Miles. And there's Alexander's $2 for this channel skyrocketing. Thank you again, my friend. Aberjam says, Happy Duck Day. Okay. Vertebrae says, Exozone, pronounced Exozone. It's a UFO paranormal stream Nerdotic and Doomcock do on Thursdays. Just ended. Gotcha. You know, I don't think I've ever watched that one. It'd probably be fun. I don't know why I've never watched it, because I like that stuff. Springtime puts $5 in. Just got off work, helping to feed the troops and airmen, watching riff tracks and eating turkey. Awesome. Awesome plan. Riff tracks on Turkey Day is a brilliant idea. Tom said, I thought he said feel the bird. That would be hilarious. And there is Alexander's second chat about the Borg series. I hope you like the new Borg video. I can't wait until we get the next one out. It's going to probably be mid next week, depending on Mr. Miles' schedule. And I'm hoping, by the way, Mr. Miles, I'm hoping that tomorrow, I know that you know, I get up much earlier than you because of the time zone difference and stuff. I'm hoping that by tomorrow afternoon, I have a recording for you to work with on Borg Part 2. Roxas says, since Nerdrotic never forgets to turn his mic on, Nerdrotic is better than Antimatter. Well, I'll give you that. I will give you that. And Alexander with another $2 says, we want MCU Aunt May naked right now. Right now. Well, still haven't been able to find anything for you, Alexander. I've been looking, and yeah, MCU Aunt May does not appear to want to be naked. I'm sorry. But it's funny because Doomcock and Nerdrotic are two of my favorite people, and I've never watched their Exozone stream, and so I don't know what all they get into with it. So I'd probably get into that, because I used to love like UFO shows and stuff when I was a kid. And let's see. Resolute's chastising because I don't know about Exozone. Yeah, I feel like an idiot. You need a mic that's a light to show you when it's on. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. And Valor saying hi to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Justin loves the Borg series. Thank you so much, Justin. And Rickshay OGS donated $5. Welcome, Rickshay. I'm assuming you're new because I don't recognize your name. And in fact, says, hi there, new subscriber. Love your work, Anti-Trekker. Anti-Trekker 1, Lore 0. No offense, Lore. What is your favorite Star Trek? I grew up with Next Generation. Well, I will tell you, my absolute favorite Star Trek is the original series. And I think, and I'm not going to, I think a lot of it has to do with my age, because I'm over 50. I grew up on the original series. And until, actually, just before I met Mrs. Anti-Trekker, the original series and the original series films was all there was of Trek. And so I was an adult by the time Star Trek The Next Generation came out. And so it was, to me, Star Trek The Next Generation felt, especially those first couple of years where it was kind of iffy, felt like a pale imitation. Now, I've grown to really appreciate The Next Generation, but I think of all the later Trek shows, Deep Space Nine is clearly the best. And so, but thank you for the $5, and welcome to the channel, my friend. You're one of the people that obviously came with the recent surge of growth. And Mahad Ali puts $2 fake Canadian dollars in, says, new Borg video was amazing. Thank you, Mahad. I hope I'm not butchering your name. And yeah, that Borg video came out so good. There's a couple of things, and I think that Mr. Miles really nailed it as to why that video is doing so well. There's two factors involved. One, it's probably our best produced video to date. Mr. Miles went above and beyond with the editing. It looks really smart. It's really tight. It flows really well. So kudos to Mr. Miles on the presentation itself. Number two is that is a theory that I've not seen anyone ever put out, even though it makes perfect sense. And so as far as the brain parasite creatures from Den of 4 being the origin of the Borg. And I've never heard anybody suggest that. I mean, usually the go-to theory on the Borg origin is either, oh, you should read the Destiny books, which aren't canon, but I understand a lot of people like them. Or, the Borg Queen, or V'ger created the Borg. And it's like, okay. Hello, world. Which I explain why I think that's crazy.
Don't get cocky.
And of course, Alexander with another $2 saying that Neelix is everyone's favorite character. I know you think that, Alexander, but no. It's just not true. I'm sorry, my friend. And don't get me wrong, I do, I know you love Neelix, but yeah, not everybody's favorite character. Resolute says, Andrew must be suffering from the early stages of a turkey coma. No, I had the turkey coma before the turkey today. Mortimer says, anti-tracker, cranberries or cranberry jelly? I pass on the cranberries. I don't care for cranberry sauce, cranberry jelly, cranberries. You guys can have that. And so, like, when I was a kid, if there was cranberry sauce, cranberry jelly, or whatever on the table at Thanksgiving, that was one that I did not partake of. Never liked it. And there is Alexander, Mahad, and Ricochet's super chats. Thank you, all three of you. I truly do appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Rouse says, tomorrow I'll probably be in a coma of my own to catch up for today, but after that I plan to jump back into Resolve. Excellent, my friend. Springtime says, watching Rift Tracks Live Time Chasers. Let me tell you something about that one, Springtime. And I'm not making this up. Watch the audience carefully, and you will see me and, yes, Mrs. Anti-Trekker. We were at that Rift Tracks for Time Chasers. They filmed it in Nashville, Tennessee. And that was a lot of fun. The entire cast of the film, including the guy with the massive chin, were all there, and we hung out with them after we watched the riff tracks of it. It was a lot of fun. So, but yes, if it's very hard to spot us because, of course, those shots of the audience are very quick. But me and Mrs. Anti-Trekker are, in fact, in that audience. So, Aberjam says, we don't have Thanksgiving over here, but I'm always thankful my countrymen speak proper English. Jerk. And let's see here. Are turducken the national bird for Thanksgiving? No. And what is the, let's see. Oh, and Mrs. Anti-Tracker's texting me like, no, they're not supposed to. Don't worry, that you're on the screen so briefly, no one's going to ever spot you. And if they do, it's from such a long distance that they wouldn't recognize you. But anyway, the turducken is of course a chicken stuffed into a duck, stuffed into a turkey, and it's an interesting idea. We've never actually had one, but I know Thanksgiving is the time a lot of people will eat them. I had this idea for a movie egg turducken, but nobody's ever taken me up on it. And a movie egg turducken is a chicken stuffed into a duck, stuffed into a turkey, stuffed into a pig, stuffed into a cow, stuffed into a moose. And yet nobody's made one, ever. And so, Roxhaw says, hates TNG, such a boomer. I don't hate TNG. I didn't like the first 2 seasons of TNG, to be sure. But I will say that TNG is I wouldn't say the weakest of Trek, but it feels the least like Trek to me. Not counting Discovery, of course. The Deep Space Nine, I think, was very well done. Voyager had writing consistency issues, but overall, I thought it was well made. And Enterprise, I thought, was a good attempt at doing a prequel, but they dropped the ball on a couple of key problems. And so, too bad the Beavis and Butthead shirt wasn't a Feces and Lorehead shirt. Well, that may be coming soon, hopefully. And by the way, if you look on the chat, or if you're on a computer, if you'll notice that right below this video, you may actually see something that has not been there before. And let me switch screens so you can see. Yes, Anti-Trekker merchandise is actually there. So you can, in fact, start to buy shirts and stuff from me. I do get a little bit of money from that. And so if you do want an Anti-Trekker shirt, there's some special limited edition 10,000 subscriber stuff that I'm putting out right now. At the end of December, I'm going to put out the regular line of stuff. And I am planning on making a Feces and Lorehead shirt as part of that lineup. So Feces and Lorehead shirt is on its way, Josh. Frack off. Feltergripe says the Enterprise F is coming. I know the Enterprise F is in the prequel comic to the Picard series. I haven't read the prequel comic yet. I have not heard any confirmation the Enterprise F will actually appear in the show. And Bird of Prey says, I'm going to do a show called The Anti-Zone where the Turdistans call in with paranormal stuff they see in Turdistan, like talking poop and naked lore. Okay, Bird, you do that. DS9 was more cerebral stories as well. Some of them were, actually the concept of the series with the whole Bajoran gods and stuff was very interesting. And stuff that they did. You know, the problem with the Next Generation is they just want to treat religion as a joke. Deep Space Nine delve into it with a little more seriousness. And actually, in a very real way, felt more like the original series. Like with the original series, they even went so far as to suggest like the Greek gods were in fact real creatures. They were aliens with abilities that normal humans don't have, but they were real. And you know, Kirk even said that all mythology has its basis in fact. Well, on TNG, they kind of just threw that away and just said basically all mythology is based on stupidity and ignorance. And then we get to Deep Space Nine, and they go back to the mythology of the Bajorans is based on the fact of the wormhole aliens. And I thought that was actually very interesting. Thomas says, insert old man joke. I hate you, Thomas. Janos Tolini says, hello, and checker. Happy Thanksgiving and congrats on 12,000. Thank you, my friend. I'm blown away. And I can't wait to see where it goes. Soul of Orion 25 says, happy Thanksgiving to Ant Trigger and Mrs. Ant Trigger. Thank you, Soul of Orion. I don't recognize your name, so I'm assuming you're new. There is Alexander's, another one of his chats saying, Neelix is still a favorite character of everyone. I really appreciate the donations, Alexander, but it's just not true.
I got him!
And Alexander puts in $2, says, we want Victorian Baboon Woman t-shirt. Well, here's the problem with the t-shirt stuff is that, remember, t-shirts have to go by the same copyright rules as anything else. So I can't use something that is not my creation and claim that it is. So I can't use the Victorian Baboon Woman because I don't have the rights to the Victorian Baboon Woman. Now, parody is different, and that's why I can do Feces and Lorehead, but I couldn't do Beavis and Butthead. If I put Beavis and Butthead on a t-shirt, that would be copyright infringement. If I put Feces and Lorehead, that's parody and that's protected. Death Dealer says, 7 and 9 and Tom Paris were mine. They belong to you? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Why do the Borg all look human under the armor?
Hello, world.
I think that, and Woke Troll puts $5 in. Thank you so much. It says, criminally undersubscribed YouTuber. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. And I don't think I'm criminally undersubscribed, but I would love to think that I was, because if we can get up to 100,000 subscribers, holy crap, what a difference in both my and Mr. Miles' life will that make. But back to Edward's question. That's actually a good question. Why are the Borg all humans, or at least look human under the armor? And I think that's actually pretty straightforward. If you look at the neuroparasites from the original series, they, of course, show up on a planet and take over the entire population of the planet to become their physical forms, right? So that they build the ships and do operations and stuff for them. Well, the neuroparasite creature that became what we call the Borg Collective simply found a humanoid planet and that had advanced technology. They got their cybernetics thing, improved it, and made it into what we call the Borg Collective. And the whole point of that was that the human form is just very efficient for what they're trying to do, for doing the building and stuff like that. And also that the human brain and everything is relatively easy for them to control. It's compatible with their neural control abilities that they already have. So I think that's the reason, straightforward. And why bother assimilating non-humanoid forms when all your technology is designed for humanoid forms? Valor says, it's funny Gen Z calls everyone boomers, even though boomers are 55 plus, not Gen X. Yeah, I know. I'm technically Gen X. I'm not a boomer, but yeah. Vile Mike says, Cinnamon started a live stream before you, but you went live anyway. Now that you're over 12,000, you don't care about the little guys anymore, huh? I did not realize Cinnamon was live. And no, it's nothing personal. It's funny because Cinnabon and I don't know why we always end up streaming at the same time, and it's certainly no disrespect to Cinnabon. He is a friend of the channel, and I love Cinnabon, and Mrs. Antchecker loves bunnies, so there's definitely no hard feelings there. Just like there have been plenty of times where Gary or Mecca or whatever would stream at the same time as me. It's the funny thing about live streaming is that it's not like network television where you can schedule everything. Roger O'Donnell says, I always assumed the Borg had something like a Doctor Who origin of the Cybermen, just with more of a skin-to aesthetic, i.e. they were slowly overtaken by something that drove them to augment. Yeah, but it just, to me, it never made sense. And I think I explained it pretty well in the video, but I don't see a population as being willing to give up their individuality. And Thomas says, now we all know where to find an image of Mrs. Anti-Tracker. Yeah, good luck, Thomas. Good luck. It's actually very hard to spot us. And let's see. Would rather watch Voyager. Entry would rather watch Voyager than TNG. Boomer. I didn't say that. I said Voyager had consistency problems, and the first 2 seasons of I would say I would definitely rather watch Voyager than the first 2 seasons of TNG. I'll go that far. I wasn't going to give up my bad dad jokes for Thanksgiving, or I was going to give up my bad dad jokes for Thanksgiving, but I just can't quit cold turkey. That's really bad, Aberjam. Thundercats Ho says, Antchecker, happy Thanksgiving from the UK. Well, I'm not American. I always have turkey and cucumber sandwich followed by a slice of apple pie. Well, a turkey and cucumber sandwich is about as American as the Eiffel Tower. You need to have like deep fried turkey with French fries. Then you're talking, that's American. Of the $24 they charge, how much, let's see. Of the $24 they charge, how much did they promise you? For that particular shirt, I believe I get about $8 of that. So not a ton, but it's the nice thing about it is that it's already linked to YouTube. YouTube and Teespring have a partnership, so basically once you hit 10,000 subs, all you have to do is click on a single, it was really that simple. I clicked on a single button from YouTube to set up the store, and then put the designs on Teespring, and bam, that's it. Then I had to wait a couple days for the designs that I put up to be approved, because they actually do go through a manual review process to make sure that you don't violate terms of service with your designs. If the Borg were made of cheese, would they be Gorgonzola? In fact, they would. And there's Alexander with his $2 about the Victorian baboon woman, which I already explained. I can't do that because you can't claim other people's work as your own. Death Dealer says, I hate the religious aspect towards the end. They flat ruined Ducat's arc as far as I'm concerned. Should have become Cisco's version of Khan. I agree on, I think the Pa Wraiths was a big mistake. I didn't care for that at all. But I liked overall what they did with the wormhole aliens. I was even okay with Cisco being half wormhole alien and all that. But I do agree that I think that the Pa Wraiths was a bad idea. And Bird Prey says, well, I don't see merch under the video. Yes, on a PC. Weird. Well, this is the first time I've seen it on there. So I don't know. And if you click, let's try it out here. So if I click on the shop button, it should take me to so there's the shirt. Although, and the interesting thing though is that I don't see, other than this one design, which I do really like this design. I ordered one, I haven't gotten it yet. But that's the only design I see, because I actually have several different items. I made a coffee cup because I didn't want just the uber expensive t-shirt on there. But I had the coffee cup and some leggings and I think something else too, but I can't remember what. So we'll see what happens if more merch shows up over time. Sobs Borg puts $20 in. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for your continued service and impeccable logic. I'm glad you are a YouTuber and my favorite Star Trek conservationalist. Thank you so much, Sobs Borg. I really, really appreciate that. And like I said, this is very exciting for me as far as seeing this growth in the channel. I'm just blown away. Let's get back to the chat. Get caught up. I'm only going to read stuff addressed to me for now until I get caught up because, like I said, I didn't want this to be a super long live stream, and I'm falling behind. Mike Richards says the original series actually had cultural impact. The rest were just good shows. Let the arguments begin. Actually, I tend to agree with you on that. I think the original series really did have significant cultural impact, whereas the rest of the shows were just they were really good shows overall, but you know, I'm sorry, but by the time they dealt with racism on Deep Space Nine, the way they did it on the original series was so much more impactful and actually made a difference. By the time Deep Space Nine came around, most people, not everybody, of course, but most people were already of the mindset that racism was bad. In the 1960s, that was not the case. And so episodes like Let That Be Your Last Battlefield was a real wake-up call to some people to realize the futility of hate. Commander Sutter says, happy gobble gobble day to one and all, including those vegans. We still like you too. Well, we can pretend. And let's see. Dark Soul, Dark Wizard says, why do you think Star Trek thought of warp drive the way, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, envisioned it in 1994? Was Roddenberry a time traveler? No, I think that actually the concept of warp drive was originally, keep in mind that originally it was horribly done, and if you look at the cage, it was time warp drive. And the idea, and they actually said we've broken the time barrier, like the time barrier was something like the sound barrier here on Earth. And so it wasn't until they actually consulted with some people who understood science that they kind of refined that a bit. What is the name of your Teespring store? I assume it's just called Anti-Trekker, because it just says buy Anti-Trekker merchandise on here. So I don't know. I just clicked on the link from YouTube and set it up. And there's at least one shirt there. Soul Ryan, I'm kind of new. I asked about how Anti-Trekker's injury. I'm sorry, Soul. I basically... Long story short, I had knee surgery about 2 months ago, and it did not go well, and so I'm still recovering from that. But before that, I was off work because of back pain and knee pain, which culminated in the knee surgery. Rock Solid says Anti-Trekker's Teespring is called Rock Solid Productions. Jerk. The Victorian Baboon Woman should be made and have his own T-shirt, except a woman would not have his own shirt unless you're going with a truly non-binary concept there. Commander Sutter says, as we are discussing the Borg, does Picard have a robotic skull like 7 of 9, and could Vulcan mind meld with the Collective? That's an interesting question. Could a Vulcan mind meld with the Collective? I think that should be something that we should explore.
Hello, world.
That would be, and could a Vulcan communicate with the Collective on a level that the rest of us couldn't? As far as Picard's skull, I don't think that his skull had time to be replaced, and that's just my guess. It's funny because all the but then again, in Star Trek: First Contact, the Enterprise crew members that were assimilated they were killed within a couple of days, and yet they all had robot skulls. So maybe Picard does have a robot skull. Rick Shea OGS puts in $10. Says, what are your thoughts on the Picard series? Do you think they might spin off the novel TNG: The Return, where Kirk comes back and is under control of the Borg and Romulan Alliance? Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for the $10, Rick Shea. No, I don't think they're going to base it on any book. In fact, I don't think, even though I would like it, I don't think that we're going to really see the Borg per se, not in their true form. I personally, although I think canonically it would make sense, I personally think that the Borg were actually destroyed at the end of Voyager. That the Borg were in fact wiped out, but the Borg tech that we see in the trailer is being utilized by the Romulans. Now, that was set up originally in the Countdown comic book for Star Trek 2009. Before the supernova that wiped out the Romulan Empire, the Narada, Nero's ship, was augmented with Borg technology that the Romulans had captured. And so I think that Borg cube is actually under direct Romulan control. But we'll get into that in my future video predicting, or actually my thoughts on what the Picard series should be. which I think is going to be a heck of a video. I think baby boomers were born a few years after World War II and the mid-60s. Yes, before the baby boomers was the greatest generation. That's World War II. Post-baby boomers is the Gen Xers. That would be me. Turkey and sweet potatoes. I don't like sweet potatoes, but I do love me some turkey. Where'd you get the new TNG uniform? I actually got it off of Amazon. Last Thanksgiving, our house is wrecked by the ghost of a turkey. I think it was a poultrygeist. That's really, really bad. And there's Salzburg's $20. Thank you again, Salzburg. I truly appreciate it. And a Star Trek conservationalist. I like that. I'm gonna take that title. At the end of DS9, did Captain Sisko die for real? No. Turkeys never eat on Thanksgiving. There's no point. They're already stuffed. Man, you guys are bad. Admiral Saval is in the house. Says, Happy Turkey Day, Mike. How you doing, Admiral? Fandom Menace is here. Says, what do you think about all the stuff about Rise of Skywalker script where it ended up on eBay? Do you think it was real or to some extent? Or yes, it was real, actually. We talked about that on Midnight's Edge yesterday. Jean Boyega actually fessed up to it. It was his copy of the script. What happened was Jean Boyega was living in a flat and was moving to another location, and he left the script under his bed, and a maid found the script in his old flat and then put it on eBay, not realizing how valuable it truly was. If you don't see Anti-Tracker Store at the bottom, it may be because you're using an ad blocker. Ah, that could be, yes. Bird Prey says, Anti-Tracker is so big he doesn't welcome new subscribers. What are you talking about? I just welcomed a couple of new subscribers. Shut up, Bird, jerk. Andre Niemand, I'm sure I'm butchering your name, Andre, but I'm assuming you're new, says, is how we understand it. Oh, the Alkerbury, I can't pronounce that drive. And you're talking about like the warp drive is very similar to the drive from Star Trek. Keep in mind, Roddenberry came up with time warp drive. What we think of as warp drive came in under Gene Kuhn's reign over Trek. Aberjam says, my missus never lets me have cranberry jelly or gravy with my Thanksgiving turkey. She says she doesn't want a saucy bird getting between us. Wow, that's just bad. The time barrier is traveling faster than light. After all, faster than light is time travel. Right, but that's not how warp drive works. And so it was an interesting enough idea and way to put it into some technobabble for the first episode, but it doesn't quite make sense. And that's why most people don't really consider The Cage as true canon, because a lot of the technology and stuff hadn't been worked out until the original series proper. Jeff Franklin says, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Jeff, and welcome to the stream. Roxall says, one thought that the Clintons killed their Thanksgiving, the Clintons killed their Thanksgiving turkey, but like Epstein, they never found any foul play. Tuvok Mind Meld was 7 to save her from a rogue collective. So yes, oh, that's true. That's true. I didn't think of that. Good call out there, Bradley. Well, however you pronounce the drive would bend and stretch space-time in front and behind while the engine object moves along its non-moving space-time. No time travel, because the ship isn't actually moving. Yes, that is more akin to what we classically think of as warp drive, where it literally bends space or warps space around the ship. So the ship is not moving, space is moving around the ship. And so doing that means that you don't violate relativity or anything like that. And that's all fine and dandy. The problem is that, like, time warp drive, as they kind of describe it in The Cage, I mean, sure, you could just argue that the person that said that was an idiot, I guess. And Mr. Ross says, I doubt Picard had a metal skull, but I'm sure he had some Borg tech left in there. He can still hear whispers from the collector when they're close enough. That's true. I think, but here's the thing, Mr. Miles. Why wouldn't Picard have a metal skull when every officer that was assimilated in Star Trek First Contact did? Death Dealer says, and the new chick is supposed to be the new queen, and she'll destroy us all. I'm not looking forward to Picard. I don't buy that she's a new queen. I don't. I don't. I hope not, at least. I think if they do it right, and this is what the core of my video is going to be about. If they do it right, it's not going to be about the Borg. The Borg technology will be incidental. It'll be about the political strife between the Klingons, Romulans, and Federation. But we'll see what happens. Darth Maul says, I was looking at the same TNG movie era costume on Amazon. How do you like it? It's not bad. Order on the large size, because I usually wear a 2X. I bought a 3X, and so it's not fitted. Obviously, the shoulders look a little funny on it, but it'll be all right until I can afford to get something properly made. The script thing was an accident. People make mistakes. No need to get really pissed at it. I agree. John Boyega fessed up. It was an honest mistake. And I'm just glad that that's taken care of. I'm sorry John Boyega had a very bad day at work though when people found out. Commander Center says, happy fire roasted pork day. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Thundercats Ho says, question: why should you never set turkey next to the dessert? Because he will gobble it. Wow. Better holiday roast, porg or Ewok. Ewok is definitely the better holiday roast. If you think about it, porg is a fowl, right? It's like chicken or turkey, but it's a small fowl, so it's really more like chicken. A holiday roast, like what you would have on Christmas, an Ewok, you cut off the head, the arms, the legs of an Ewok, and you have a really nice roast. And if you stuff the Ewok with porg, it really brings out the flavor. Using a time warp, you would lose the Federation behind. Very true. All travel is time travel. Heck, you're standing still, you're still moving forward in time. Well, if you want to get technical, yes. Puns with extra Epstein. You know what's funny is that in the Expanse, their engines are called Epstein drives. No joke. Aberjam says, friend of mine bred 3-legged turkeys so he, his wife, and their son could all have a leg at Thanksgiving. When I was asked how they tasted, I don't know, I can never catch the buggers. Rocksolid says, when researching things on the internet, turkeys gobble it. Oh, gee, what is with you guys with these really bad puns? Sean H. Corey, I'm assuming you're new. Welcome. Your description of warp drive still is time travel. Well, no, when it bends the space-time continuum around you, you don't go, like, for example, the problem with actually traveling faster than light is that you would, in fact, like, the closer to the speed of light you go, the more time dilation there is, and then when you accelerate beyond the speed of light, you would actually start going backwards in time. And so, theoretically, of course, nothing can go faster than light. So the way around that is if you can bend the time-space continuum around you so you're not actually moving the ship at all, but you're moving space around the ship, then you can get around that without traveling through time, and no time dilation, but still having the appearance of moving faster than light. A fish swam into a wall. Damn. Wow, Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation, you're right up there with all these lame jokes. I got to give you that. Hello there, Trekker. So you're a Trekkie and not a Trekker, hence the name Anti-Trekker. Yes, very true. Eric Draven said, "I'm curious how the cage is not canon. It was featured in the episode Menagerie during Spock's trial." Yes, and that is but you can argue, if you look at the Menagerie, you can argue that since the Telosians were beaming that information directly from their brains into the computer systems of the Enterprise, that it is possible that there were some faulty memories there, and that could explain some of the continuity issues. Dog, you're getting your leash all tangled up. Yeah, I know. Now you're all stuck, aren't you? Dummy. Yeah, I know. You're a sweet dog, but now you're stuck there. I know, you're going to be upset now, so I'm going to have Joshua come get you because I can't leave you like that. Hold on, guys. And Mrs. Auntie Jagger, if you see this, have Joshua come get Auntie because she's getting herself stuck. Let's see. All right. I know, Auntie. We'll come get you in just a second. Picard could hear 7 of 9. Good. Well, I don't know if he could or not. I don't think they ever really got into that. Sci-Fi says, happy Turkey Day to you, the bionic turd burglar, and your family, Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation, and myself. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. I know. Trekker, how does... Oh, wait, just saying. So Joshua is here, so bear with me just saying, guys. I'll give you a little something for Turkey Day.
In the great bowl of the Justice League, there floats the world's 4 greatest turds. Created from cosmic indigestion, Super Turd. Wonder Turd. Bat Turd. Aqua Turd. And those 2 junior Super Turds, Lore Reloaded and Punchy the Wonder Cat.
Love me the Super Turds. All right, so where were we? Gotta love the pupper. Good dogs are good. Absolutely. Auntie is a sweet, sweet dog. But let me... That's not the right picture. Is it this? No, that's not it. Dang, I'm having so much trouble here with this stupid thing. Wow, I just can't get anything right here today. There, no, that's not it. Goodness gracious. There we go. Whew, took forever. All right. I figure you don't want to look at an empty bed. How does warp drive deal with the effects of time dilation? Well, time dilation doesn't impact if you use warp drive because the ship is not moving near the speed of light. And that's what causes the time dilation. Well, White Guy said time warp, so he's an idiot. Maybe one of the many minority characters in the cage should have said, oh, wait, yeah, one of those minority characters in the cage. I've now 78 episodes of The Lone Ranger watched. Wow, Alexander, that is 78 more, well, 77 more episodes than me. I've watched one episode. I did not care for the show. And Bird says, you honestly think they're going to do a show about political intrigue over easy, popular Borg episodes? Well, they should. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think that's what they should do. And especially with some of the hints they dropped in the trailer, I think all the seeds are there, which I'll explain in my video. Picard wasn't assimilated in First Contact, but in Best of Both Worlds. And with the Borg's nature ever improving their abilities, maybe they just faster with it by First Contact. Or maybe Picard has a metal skeleton. Just saying it's possible. As an aside, scientists say the warp drive is theoretically possible, but actually creating a warp drive is something more difficult. Yes, that's the problem. The mathematics all add up. It's just that then you got the practical side of it. Maybe they had not had time to replace his skull, or it took time. We can probably think about 1,000 ways why they didn't replace. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, honestly, the only way we would know is if they have a shot of Picard without the skin on his head. So, I mean, other than that, it's just speculation. Springtime. Now we don't know what the Emperor was doing at Endor. Now we know what the Emperor was doing at Endor, or Endro. And Springtime, you lost me. All these jokes need to be quit cold turkey. Oh, you guys are bad. You guys are just bad. You should be used to turkey puns. You deal with pop memes. I know, but they're bad. You guys are really bad. Space is expanding faster than the speed of light. Well, the expansion is different, though, than actual motion. I thought Warp 10 was the point where time starts getting weird. Well, Warp 10 is, in Next Generation terms, Warp 10 is infinite velocity, which is theoretically impossible, which is why Warp 10 is impossible to achieve, except for when they do, and then you turn into a salamander and have babies that you abandon. Why did the turkey cross the road? To be honest, I didn't know, but I know Epstein didn't. Oh, jeez. What is your thing with Epstein? Are you ready for The Expanse Season 4 and 5? Hell to the yes, I am. Me and Mrs. Antrick are both very much excited about the return of The Expanse. I think that it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I absolutely cannot wait. No, you can't get around it. Your description based on a preferred frame. Your description is based on a preferred frame of reference. Sadly, there is no preferred frame of reference. Not sure what you mean. If you're talking about as far as time dilation, well, with warp drive, you bypass that by exiting space and being in subspace. You are no longer in the time-space continuum, and you are no longer bound by time dilation. You just called Auntie a dummy and hit her on the head? No, I petted her on the head. I do call her a dummy sometimes when she gets herself stuck in stupid ways, but yes. Let's see. Entry, warp 10 is supposed to be where a vessel traveling at said speed occupies all points of the universe at the same time. Yeah, exactly. It's infinite velocity. If you think about it, Jeff, if you were traveling at infinite velocity, you would, in fact, be occupying every point in the universe at the same time. Because you're traveling at infinite velocity. Bird of Prey is trying to start something about Auntie. Shut up. And Anna Thursta just subscribed. Thank you, Anna, if you're here. Turtistani abuse animals. It's on tape, Joe. Bird, stop it. Average Jeff says, "Why did Antrekker give?" You know what, Bird? I've been very nice. I haven't played any of your songs today. I'm just saying, you better stop. Why did Antrekker give up eggs for Thanksgiving? He's tired of all the turkey yolks. Oh, wow, that's. What type of cranberry do you use on Thanksgiving? Or what kind of cran do you use on Thanksgiving and cranberry? That doesn't even make sense. Don't forget your sound. Yes. Now everybody's trying to say I was muted when I'm not. Jerks. Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation says, sorry, I love terrible puns. It's all right. I like puns sometimes. Death Dealer says, they need to hire some of us fans to monitor what Kurtzman does so we can hold him in check. I actually would like to see them just hire people that understand the concept of continuity and are willing to pay attention to overall Trek continuity. And Moist Nurglet Lover. Wow. Just subscribed. That's an interesting username. I mean, yeah, they need to do something to get the writer's room in check. But we'll see what happens with Picard. Thomas says, Turnistan invented jump drives and or President Tom of Mead shall lead us to explore the universe. Jerk. If Alex Kurtzman is still in charge of CBS Star Trek, then it would be very dark and depressing. We'll see. We'll see. Andre says that episode is ridiculous. If you're talking about Threshold, yes, it's the worst episode of Trek of all. Alexander says they should do a Star Wars Star Trek crossover with Jar Jar Binks and Neelix. Yes, they could be like the Odd Couple and be stuck in quarters together. Tubian323 says, enough, Epstein, he didn't kill himself. We got it. Stop. I'm kind of with you there, Tubian. People should learn not to use hot oil to cook their birds on Thanksgiving. We all know turkeys are poor fryers. Matthew says, why are there only classical songs being played in Star Trek? No funk or metal or pop in the future? Well, that's a good question. I mean, we do hear some, like, Klingon opera and crap like that, but yeah, it seems like, there's no contemporary music in the universe of Trek for some reason. Probably because they didn't want to. The problem, honestly, I think the real reason is because no matter what they do, it would make it seem dated. Because think about, like, in the original series, The Way to Eden, when the hippies were singing those songs. Now you look at those songs are so painfully 60s, right? So if they were to do something like that in Star Trek The Next Generation, it would feel very 80s, and the other shows would feel very 90s, etc. And so it would make Star Trek feel dated. So in that respect, I think it actually makes sense. Phantom Menace says, I tried to watch The Expanse. I have not gotten past season 1. It's good, but I can't bring myself to continue. I don't know why. Let me tell you something, Phantom Menace. It's funny because The Expanse season 1 is very, very slow. It's all set up. Once you get through season 2, the pace picks up substantially. And it's not like Star Trek Next Generation where season 1 is just bad. It's just that season 1 is really slow. And all that is necessary for what happens in future stuff. They're constantly referring back to things that happened in season 1. So if you can trust me, if you can get through season 2, you'll probably be hooked at that point. You know which turkey bird is good for you? Bird of Prey 5. And Checker can't stand all these jokes. He can't handle the punishment. Oh, that's just horrible, vile, Mike. Any interest in For All Mankind? I thought it would be woke trash, but it's actually pretty good for the most part. I've not seen it. Any more bad puns, and you should play Bird of Prey songs. I'm thinking about it. I really do think I'm thinking about doing that. Bird of Prey says there is Frank Sinatra in Deep Space Nine, Vic Fontaine. Yeah, and he's horrible. What is the best search engine on Thanksgiving? Google. Oh, wow. Now even Alexander's doing it. Dr. Bashir was his Freddy. That's true. If you didn't know, in Amazon's alternate timeline, it's Amazon's alternate timeline where the Ruskies land on the moon first, so NASA focuses on getting women on the moon instead. Oh, really? Is that what the storyline of it is? I did not know that. Jeff says, Expanse Season 1 is like Babylon 5 Season 1. In a way, you're very much right. Did you know that scrambled eggs makes better turkey? Here's how you make it. You beat the stuffing out of it. Have you heard of the show Castlevania? It has no SJW stuff. All the women in it are strong and powerful and on Netflix. One of them is magic as a mage and nearly beats a bad guy by herself. That sounds interesting, but I do not currently have Netflix. I dropped Netflix because, quite frankly, we weren't watching it. Carlos says, stuffing at Bird of Prey. Oh, no, I can't shake the image. Horrible. Vic Fontaine is the best hologram in Star Trek. No, the Doctor is the best hologram in Star Trek. Vic Fontaine is a bad joke. I know you love... You see, here's the thing. The reason you love Vic Fontaine so much, Bird, is because you love Frank Sinatra. I never cared about Frank Sinatra, so Vic Fontaine does nothing for me except sounds like just another lounge lizard. The best lounge singer ever is Richard Cheese. And if you don't know who Richard Cheese is, look him up. Holy crap, is he good. Don't be a turkey. Leave poor Bird of Prey 5 alone. Well, Bird of Prey 5 is a turkey. What do you think about Thanks Talking? It should be cool, too. Okay. What do a turkey on Babylon 5? What do a turkey on Babylon 5? Admiral, you lost me on that one. I'm not sure what you mean. So yeah, and by the way, Richard Cheese is quite. Let me see here. He's done a number of cover songs, and let's see. Richard. Okay, there's Richard Cheese, and let's see. Where's my favorite? And Lounge Against the Machine. No, that's not what I want. Go back. Yeah, I do like the let's see, Sunny Side of the Moon. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Toxicity. There it is. All right. So, yeah.
God makes me so horny. 'Cause I'm long and I'm strong, and I'm down to get the friction on.
Yes, that is Richard Cheese singing Baby Got Back. Matthew says, any thoughts on The Boys, the show on Amazon Prime? I haven't watched it. Honestly, looking at it, it looks a little dark for my taste. So, yeah, that's... And I just realized I missed a bunch of chats, so let me go back. Trek Review says, in Star Trek, do you hear a little bit of Gilbert and Sullivan and TNG in the movies? That's true. That's true. But that's all classical stuff. That's the point. They don't do a lot of contemporary. Nat Beaten Turkey. Okay. And Alexander says, thanks taking, tanks taking. Okay. Isn't Richard Cheese a sign of STD? Yes. Vic Fontaine would call Anti-Checker Nanook of the North. Okay. The joke is you just don't... the joke you just say about Bird of Prey, that was funny. So, yeah, as far as The Boys, it just seems too dark. It's kind of... I know it's a deconstruction of superheroes, but... Yeah... I don't know. I'll probably watch it eventually. What kind of cheese? Yes, Richard Cheese. That's his first name, Dick. You can probably sail the high seas to get to Castlevania. I do it from time to time to watch all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I know, but I don't. I try to avoid that. My favorite Richard Cheese song, She Hates Me, the Puddle of Mud cover. I actually like... He's got so many good ones. But yeah. He's just the Weird Al of lounge. Well, he's not really, because Weird Al actually changes the lyrics. Richard Cheese keeps the same lyrics. He changes the music. So he's kind of the opposite of Weird Al. Beware the demonetized. Well, actually, it's the copyright bots that you have to worry about with that, not demonetizing. It's official. Antchecker uses torture practices. No. What do you call turkey on Babylon 5? Waka Waka, a barber turkey. Wow. Okay. Thinking about Warp 10, you would occupy all points of the universe, so all points of your body and ship would occupy every point, your body and ship, and every star and every object. It's impossible. Exactly. Infinite velocity is impossible. And in fact, any kind of actualized infinite is logically impossible. The problem is that they do it anyway. Phantom Menace says, I love the ending of Babylon 5. It's like ending like I've never seen, and I think it was a unique ending. I'll give you that. What are they doing? The Baku right now? Right now, the Baku are eating porg, and they're getting their Ewoks ready for Christmas. I think you should sing Modern Major General when you hit 20,000 subs. Not sure why. I'm not much of a singer, but I'll think of something. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo when I hit 20,000. Like the Trek Delta Shield right there. And Sci-Fi says, how much money do you get for you to get back into the Stargate franchise? I would love to talk to you about Stargate stuff without spoiling the hell out of it. That's actually something that once we kind of get and this is something that me and Miles are working on right now, is we need to kind of set up our workflow, because we're just getting to a point where we can start to consider that we may be doing this full time in the near future, and so we need to have a systematic approach to everything. Right now, we're kind of just trying to tread water and keep things going, but once we have things basically into a regular workflow and we're able to put stuff together, yes, we're going to get back into Stargate. Bill Murray is a good lounge singer on SNL, even sang lyrics to the Star Wars theme. Yes, I know, and Star Wars. Yes, I remember. Unless you're a Mandalorian, they just flash fry their Ewoks. That's true. What happens to the Ewok Gungan War? Well, in the Ewok Gungan War, the Ewoks ate the Gungans. The Ewoks are vicious little guys. Matthew asked if I play Star Trek Online. I have played it in the past, but honestly, I love the space combat. I hate the ground game, and so I don't play it very often. All right, guys. I do need to wrap it up because Mrs. Antchecker's waiting for me downstairs. We're going to have some dessert, watch a movie or something, and then go to bed. And so thank you all. Like I said, I have 12,000 reasons to be thankful this year. And actually more than that, because I also have my wonderful wife, Joshua, and just the fact that you guys have helped me through so many things. I can't thank you enough. And so you guys truly make me feel thankful. Even when we're struggling, you guys remind me of just how lucky I truly am. So thank you all. Take care and have a great rest of your Thanksgiving, unless you're not in the United States, in which case, well, screw you. But in the meantime, a little something just for Alexander, who just put another super chat in about 7 of 9 to remind me of what he needs.
The board vessel's moving into range.
On screen.
Let's get lost in that magic place all alone now. Drink your fill from my fountain of love, wet your lips. I'm a man, I'm a teaser, I'm a man, well I'm a virgin, I'm a man, I'm a one-night stand, a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a dream, I'm a dream divine, make love together.
He's dead.
You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker! I love men. I love men. You son of a bitch, anti-tracker!
In other words,
I love men.
on your face.
You son of a bitch, anti-tracker!
In other words,
I love men.
on your face.
You son of a bitch!
In other words,
I love
God on your face.
you son of a bitch!